My wife laughed. "Ha, this is my second family now." While I stood there heartbroken, I said, "Congratulations." When her second family discovered she'd been married to both of us simultaneously, second place came with federal charges. I, 41 male, discovered my wife Claire, 39, has been living a complete double life for the past 4 years. We've been married for 11 years total. It started 3 months ago when Claire's phone died and she asked to use mine to call her work friend about covering her shift. She's a pharmaceutical sales rep, travels a lot for work, or so I thought. She dialed the number from memory, but forgot to close the recent calls afterward. The contact showed up as Tristan, husband, with a heart emoji. My stomach dropped. I checked her social media from my account. Nothing suspicious. But then I remembered she'd mentioned making a LinkedIn for networking a few years back. I searched for her there. 2 profiles. Claire Morrison, her maiden name, and Claire Fitzgerald, my last name. The Morrison profile listed her as regional sales director, living in a city 4 hours away. Relation status married. The profile picture, her in a wedding dress I'd never seen, standing next to a man who wasn't me. I did some digging. Tristan Morrison exists. He owns a construction company. They have a house together, found the property records online. The deed was signed 2 months after our 7th anniversary. But here's the kicker. We have 2 kids together, Lily 9 and Jacob 7. I'm a teacher, summer's off, so I'm with them constantly when school's out. How the hell was she managing another whole family? I hired a PI. Yeah, sounds dramatic, but I needed proof before confronting her. What he found was insane. Claire had another identity entirely, different social security number, stolen from someone who died as a child. The PI figured this out through some database, different driver's license, the works. She'd been traveling for work 3 to 4 days a week. Those days, she was living with Tristan and their 2 kids, twins, age 3. The logistics were actually brilliant. She'd leave Monday morning for sales calls, spend Monday, Wednesday with family number 2, then come home Wednesday night, claiming exhaustion from travel. Fridays were her admin days, working from home with us. Every other weekend she had regional meetings, really just spending weekends with them. She'd been collecting 2 insurance policies, 2 sets of tax benefits, everything. The woman was living completely separate lives. I sat on this information for 2 weeks, documenting everything. Downloaded her LinkedIn profiles, got copies of the property records, the PI's full report. I even drove to Tristan's house one Tuesday and saw her car in the driveway. Took pictures. Last Sunday she was in the kitchen making breakfast, laughing at something on her phone. I asked what was funny. "Oh, just Tristan sent me a video of the twins trying to sing happy birthday to his mom. They're at that age where everything's hilarious." She said it so casually, like she hadn't just admitted to her actual husband that she had another family. "Who's Tristan?" I asked, playing dumb. She froze for half a second, then recovered. "Work colleague. His kids are adorable." "Can I see?" She clutched her phone. "Oh, it's nothing interesting." "Claire, who's Tristan?" Her face went through about 10 emotions. Then she did something I'll never forget. She laughed. Actually laughed. "Ha ha, well, guess the cat's out of the bag. This is my second family now." Just said it, like she was revealing she'd bought a new car or something. "Your second family? Oh, don't be so dramatic, Brett. Lots of people have complicated situations." "Complicated? You're married to another man." "Technically, that marriage isn't fully legal since I used different documents." "So you committed identity theft and bigamy?" She rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. I love both my families. I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm just expanded." "Expanded? Claire, this is a federal crime, multiple federal crimes. Only if someone reports it," she said, still smiling. "And why would you do that? Think of Lily and Jacob. Do you want their mother in prison?" The entitlement, the complete lack of remorse. She genuinely thought she'd done nothing wrong. "Does Tristan know about us?" "Of course not. He thinks I'm a regional director who travels for work." "So you're lying to both of us." "I'm maintaining 2 households. It's exhausting, actually. You could be more appreciative." I walked out, took the kids to my mother's house and told Claire we needed space. She sent me dozens of texts about how I was being closed-minded and breaking up our family over nothing. Update 1. I contacted Tristan. "I know some of you said not to, but the man deserved to know. I sent him an email with all the evidence. My marriage certificate, family photos spanning 11 years, everything. He called me within an hour. The man was destroyed. He thought Claire was his soulmate. They'd been married for 4 years, had twins together, were trying for another kid. She's at a conference in Denver this week, he said. No, she's not. She's at home with me and our kids. Well, was. I kicked her out 3 days ago. We compared notes, the stories she told, the elaborate lies. She had fake business cards, a fake LinkedIn with fake colleagues who'd endorse her skills. She'd created an entire fictional career. Tristan was more angry than hurt. I'm gonna destroy her, he said. Get in line, I told him. We agreed to coordinate. Both file police reports. Both file for divorce annulment, share evidence. Then Claire made everything worse. She showed up at my school. During my lunch break, in front of other teachers, she started this whole performance about how I was having a mental breakdown and making up stories about her having another family. Brett's been under a lot of stress, she told my colleague Diane. He's invented this whole conspiracy theory about me having another husband. I'm worried about his mental health. I pulled out my phone and showed Diane the photo of Claire in a wedding dress with Tristan. This conspiracy theory? Claire's mask slipped. That's from a commercial shoot. I do modeling sometimes. A commercial shoot where you signed a marriage certificate? She grabbed my arm, hard. We need to talk privately. No, Claire, we're done talking. She started crying then. Big dramatic tears. How can you do this to our children? They need their mother. They need a mother who isn't a criminal. That's when she snapped. You think you're so perfect, so righteous? I gave you 11 years. I gave you 2 beautiful children, and this is how you repay me? You gave me half of 11 years, the other half you gave to Tristan. I worked my ass off maintaining both families. Do you know how exhausting it is keeping everyone happy? The other teachers were stunned. She'd basically just confessed in front of witnesses. I filed the police report that afternoon. Identity theft, bigamy, fraud. The detective's eyes got wider with each document I showed him. In 20 years, I've never seen anything quite like this, he said. Meanwhile, Tristan went nuclear. He didn't just file a report, he hired a forensic accountant. Turns out Claire had been using her fake identity to take out credit cards, loans, even a car lease, all in the fake name, but using Tristan's address. Update 2, Claire was arrested yesterday. The federal charges are no joke. Identity theft, wire fraud, mail fraud, bigamy, tax fraud. She filed taxes under both identities and about 6 other things I can't even pronounce. But before the arrest, she tried everything to wiggle out of it. First, she went to my mother. Showed up at her house with my kids, it was her weekend, crying about how I was destroying our family. My mom, bless her, recorded the whole conversation on her phone. Claire, I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving Brett and the kids. You married another man. That's just paperwork. The heart wants what the heart wants. The law wants what the law wants too, dear. Then she tried Tristan's family. His sister called me, said Claire showed up at her job, begging her to convince Tristan to drop the charges, said she was pregnant with his child and needed support. Plot twist, she wasn't pregnant. Tristan had gotten a vasectomy after the twins. She didn't know because she'd missed that business trip when he had it done. The arrest happened at Tristan's house. She'd gone there to pick up her things, supervised by police, but there was already a warrant. They cuffed her in the driveway. Tristan sent me the doorbell camera footage. She was screaming about how we were jealous and couldn't handle a strong woman living life on her terms. Her lawyer contacted mine. They wanted to make a deal. If I dropped the charges and convinced Tristan to do the same, she'd give me full custody and walk away. My lawyer laughed. She's facing 20+ years in federal prison. She doesn't have bargaining power here. The FBI got involved because the identity theft crossed state lines. They found more than we knew. Claire had 3 other partial identities she was building. Credit cards, apartment applications, even a dating profile on some sugar daddy website. Her parents bailed her out, a $100,000 bond. They put up their house. Then she did the stupidest thing possible. She went on Facebook Live. For 18 minutes, she ranted about how society forces women to fragment themselves and how she was a pioneer of modern relationships. She said monogamy was a patriarchal prison and she was being persecuted for loving too much. She literally admitted to everything, on camera, publicly. The prosecutor added witness tampering charges when she mentioned me and Tristan by name and said we were weak men who couldn't appreciate her gift. Her bail was revoked. She's been in jail for 3 days now. Final update: Claire took a plea deal. 8 years in federal prison, possibility of parole in 5. She had to forfeit all assets obtained through fraud, about $200,000 worth. Both marriages were annulled. She lost all parental rights. The sentencing was something else. She showed up in court wearing this conservative outfit, trying to look like a suburban mom. Her lawyer painted her as a woman who got in over her head and made poor choices from a place of love. Then the prosecutor played her Facebook Live video. The judge actually shook his head. "Miss Claire, in 30 years on the bench, I've seen a lot of creative criminal enterprises. Yours takes the cake for sheer audacity." Claire stood up to make her statement. No apology? None. Instead, she said, "I refuse to apologize for trying to have it all. Men have mistresses and second families all the time. I simply formalized the arrangement. My only crime was loving too much and trying to make everyone happy." The judge added 6 months to her sentence for lack of remorse. "Tristan and I have become weird friends through this. We meet for beer sometimes, compare notes on healing from this insanity. His twins don't really remember her. They're young enough. My kids are in therapy. They're angry and confused, but the therapist says they're resilient." Claire's parents wrote me a letter apologizing. Apparently, this isn't the first time she's done something like this. In college, she was simultaneously engaged to 3 different men, taking money from all of them for wedding planning. Her parents paid them back and hushed it up. The prosecution found 2 more victims from her past. Men she dated and scammed. One she convinced to put her through nursing school. She was never enrolled. Another she borrowed $30,000 from for her mother's cancer treatment. Her mother never had cancer. She's being sued civilly by 4 different credit card companies, 2 banks, and the woman whose identity she stole, who's still alive, just living abroad. The PI was wrong about that part. Last week, I got a letter from her in prison. She wants me to put money in her commissary account because the food is terrible and you know I have dietary restrictions. The entitlement. Even facing 8 years in federal prison, she thinks I owe her something. I didn't respond. Tristan got one too. He framed his and hung it in his garage as a reminder to trust his gut in future relationships. My kids are doing better. They see Claire's imprisonment as consequence for lying, which, yeah, accurate. My daughter asked if mommy was sorry. I told her that some people don't know how to be sorry. They only know how to be caught. I'm dating again, very casually. I joke that my standard first date question is now, so any other families I should know about? But honestly, Claire taught me something valuable. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them. Don't wait for words. She showed me who she was that Sunday morning when she laughed about her second family. No shame, no remorse, just amusement at being caught. That wasn't a mistake or poor judgment. That was her character. Tristan's rebuilding too. His business actually grew because of the publicity. Apparently, people trust a contractor who's been publicly scammed. Shows he's honest. Silver lining, I guess. Claire's next parole hearing is in 5 years. Neither Tristan nor I plan to attend. We've moved on. She's just a cautionary tale now, a wild story we tell at parties. The second family she was so proud of? We're both free of her. Turns out first place and second place both win when the competition is a federal crime. Edit. For those asking about the kids' relationship, my 2 have met Tristan's twins once, at a park. It was weird but okay. We're not forcing anything, just leaving the door open for the future. They're technically half-siblings after all. Not their fault. Their mom was a criminal mastermind wannabe.